What's going on, YouTube? It's a very happy Donnie B all day. So, I gotta say, in the beginning, God gave us the Mission 1. Ho, 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 and it was good. So, here we have the beginning of it all. The Rambo 1, right? The Mission 1 with... It's got bead blasted here, but it's a more polished blade, the polished look, and I love it with the green handle. And remember that the Rambo knife is a verse 2, because after God gave us the Mission 1, he gave us the Mission 2. With a black subdued finish and a noticeably larger blade. After these were done, so many have tried and failed to make the hollow handle Rambo knife. Tried and failed. As a matter of fact, I even got into the Rambo knife making game myself, and I forged myself my own Rambo knife. And while I must say that this thing, 1085 high carbon steel, and it's a solid handle, not a hollow handle, but I still do have the compass because that's how I roll. And you can see, compared to the Mission 1 and the Mission 2, that my Rambo knife, well, it's just bigger. And I wanted to do a combination. The green handle, the black subdued outlined blade, the green handle, the black subdued outlined blade. I made sure that it said, I am a Rambo fan, true and true. And while my knife is awesome, I love this knife, it is a beast. It wasn't enough. It didn't say, actually it did, it does say I am Rambo by looking at it, but it's just not enough. I needed more, I needed better, I needed the best. So I figure if I'm going to make a Rambo knife, or design a Rambo knife and have somebody competent make it, I might just go to the best. So I went to the Khukuri House in Nepal and I designed a Rambo knife. I designed it from scratch, coming out of my brain, and I thought the first two, that looked a lot like this. And then I thought about the last two, and I don't have them here with me, which I really wish I did, but they're just not put out yet. COVID slowed everything down. So I took the first two and I thought, polished, big 10-inch size blade. I think this is 10-inch, the Mission 2. Let's see, it's either 10 or 9. No, it's 10-inch blade. So I was thinking, I want this size, closer to this look, and I wanted the handle to represent the new movie. So if you remember from Last Blood, the M8 and the M9 were the two knives that John J Rambo carried. And there was a handguard on the M9 that looked pretty similar to this, a little bit different, copyright reasons. And there was a green handle on it, a little different color for different reasons I will show you. And the M8 had this awesome, beautiful shaped handle just like this. So I figured, why not put the two together and make one handle that represented both knives. And me and the boys at KHHI, the Khukuri House in Nepal, just had some ideas flowing around. At first this was supposed to be olive green, the same as the M9, but oh no, hold on. So we went with a different route than the olive green. I had something sent to me from a man, Cowboy C Bop. If you don't know his channel, check him out. That's my homeboy. That's my brother from another mother, Cowboy C Bop. And I was looking at, different things, and Cowboy sent me this, the little jade Buddha that Rambo wore, right? If you remember Rambo 2 when he got it, and then Rambo 3 and he continued to have it, you remember this little jade Buddha. kind of look familiar? Check that out. It is perfect. The jade color G10 scales, and you can see that it's, hopefully you can see that it's G10. You can see that there's a little bit in there. It gives you a nice sticky grip to the hand. It looks very, very smooth, but it gives you a nice sticky grip because it is G10 and it does have texturing. So this was a must for me. I know that a lot of people would choose, let me put this down, Chinatown. A lot of people would choose a Western style sheath for this, but here's the deal. My blade was made in Nepal, and it's made by the greatest crafters in the world, and I needed them to be part of this blade. So when I ordered the sheath done, it's the shape of the Western, but in the style of a Khukuri sheath. So that was important to me, and I think it looks amazing with the knife. As a matter of fact, let's give it a full Hoosier Daddy, so you can see how really good it looks with this knife. Now, I'm going to, before we even get into this blade, and it's kind of, oh man, I know, the Khukuri House, who sends everything good, they always send one of these. And that right there is the man who made my Rambo knife, my John J. His name is AJ Majar, and he is a longtime craftsman. He is awesome, and ladies, he is unmarried. So if you're looking for a new man, woohoo! He's a crafty guy. All right, so now let's get back into it. It's time. Oh, it's time. The John J Tribute Bowie. I needed different pieces of the Rambo legacy, and I needed to do it in 5160 steel, better than any Rambo knife has ever been made in. 5160 steel. The handguard is not just placed up against the steel. The handguard is welded on all the way around to make it one solid piece of this knife, so you will not get rattling and shaking and loosening. No, my friends. You will have an awesome handguard on there. Now, the saw teeth. I did not want the wire cutters in the saw teeth. You see that? Because I wanted a very strong spine. And for me, I think the main part of the saw teeth is going to be for extraction and wound channel. When you have a saw back on a knife, that wound channel coming out is ridiculous. So besides the fact that it's that nostalgic look, you know, the saw teeth were definitely a must, because without them, it's just not a Rambo knife. So here you have them. Now, the specs of this Rambo knife: the blade is 10.5 inches long, 1/2 inch longer than the two. It's polished, but polished all the way through, even in the center. And oh, man, this grip, I could see why they use this on the M8. The grip is just amazing. It is 100%. If you're a Rambo fan and you don't have one of these and you don't order one of these, then you need to question yourself on how much of a Rambo fan you are, because this is the Rambo knife that you can use like Rambo would use a knife. This is the one. I use my Rambo knives for gardening stuff, for like weeding and things like that, but they're not combat ready. They're not ready to get out there and take to the field and be used for anything and everything. This thing is combat ready. This is the John J Tribute by dbad, made by the Khukuri House in Nepal. Now, one thing we did with the pommel is you see how it's comes in, it's swedged, but it's not sharpened. I didn't want it sharp because I didn't want to, you know, you're going to get it out of the sheath and you're cutting your hand up. I want it swedged so I can do this against my hand, but just enough to where that thing right there is going to be a skull-crushing menace. It sticks out far enough, and that was an idea by Khukuri House, as a matter of fact. I had it closer to the scales. I had the scales going all the way up to the swedging, but the Khukuri House, these guys are really smart, and they said, well, if you use it and it goes through something, you're going to end up damaging your scales. So they gave me a little bit extra space, and they said, we're going to give you a lanyard hole. These guys are great, man. These guys are great. Their heads are always on. They're always thinking. So here's my design. Now, I showed you the Western style sheath. This one came from the Timberwolf. It's like the Crocodile Dundee style. Any 10-inch or 11-inch blade handle sheath is going to work. So now I have 2 sheaths to fit this knife. And you can get any of these kind of sheaths right on eBay, and you look how that fits. That's an 11-inch. It's a sheath for an 11-inch blade. If you get an 11-inch Bowie sheath, and you can find them dirt cheap, and you want that Western style sheath, or you just want that backup, you can do that. For me, however, I love this thing. I love it. Oh my God, it's beautiful, soft leather. It's got wood inside. It's a very, very well-made sheath, and they make all their sheaths to the knife, exactly, because these aren't machine made. This is going to be handmade. This is handmade, but it's made to this. It's not made in a bin and then they take them and throw them in. It's made to fit every single knife they make. So let's take this guy out and go have some fun. I think today I wore the special boots so we can go out into the woods and really tear it up. We'll start at the stump, and then we're going to get out and we're just drop computers and go tear it up. Let's go. All right, so just walking to the stump, I have to say that my feet are sweating in these boots. We're really going to need to get out to those woods. All right, so the Rambo knife. The Rambo knife is the ultimate survival knife. This is why. This is the knife. That's the reason we have survival knives. Oh, and Cowboy Sebop. Yeah, the little jade Buddha you sent me is now my lanyard for my Rambo knife. So, the ultimate survival knife. This thing, first and foremost, beyond anything and everything, this thing is a fighting knife. This thing is made for combat. I hate lanyards, honestly. Probably because my hands are so big, getting them in and out is just a pain in the. I even made a huge, big lanyard. But that's what it is. It's a fighting knife. It's made for combat. Especially the Rambo knives. I mean, you know, he used it for hunting rabbits, so he said. But outside of that, it's one of those knives that, yeah, it's my war knife, it's my combat knife, it's my battle knife. But what if I do need to hunt rabbits? What if I do need to cut myself some kind of canvas tarp to wear because I'm escaping the law? What if I do need to open up a can of beans and, you know, a can of beans getting shot at? So it's literally made to be able to survive any and all situations. That is what a survival knife is for, right? You need to be able to get out into the woods. You need to be able to feather stick. You need to be able to chop. You need to be able to cut. You need to be able to do all those things, right? And do them all well. Because if you don't have a survival knife you can survive off of, then you aren't surviving, right? So it takes the right blade to get everything done that you need, right? It takes the right blade. You need something that can get it all done, right? To get it all done. Bam. It's nice and sharp. Let's see. Oh, the hairs are stuck to the oil. You can see that? All the hairs are stuck to the oil. So it comes very, very sharp. I think you can all see, it's hard to tell outside, but I think you can see all the hairs. Now I gotta get them all off the blade. It comes nice and sharp, it comes nice and ready, but the main thing is this isn't gonna be your shaving knife, although I just did. It's not going to be your shaving knife. This is going to be your survival knife. And survival is the key. When you are going into the woods with this big old jumbo blade, you need to make sure that this big old jumbo blade is coming back out with you. And you need to make sure that you have the ability to come back out. And this is what it takes. This is what it takes. A knife you can hammer on all the way down through the knots. That's what you need. 5160 steel. That's what you need right there. You need something that is sharp, that is tough, that is rough, that can bang. Let's do a couple of hard downwards. Ooh, I think I just broke my jade Buddha. I did. It smashed against a knife and it broke. All right, cowboy, I'm gonna have to get a new jade Buddha because this one broke. I guess the jade Buddha as a lanyard failed, but it failed against its own blade, its own creation. Oh man, that thing comes out of the hand with force. But I know we're all not here to see this knife against this stump. That's not what this knife is for. No, this knife is for menacing carnage. That's what this thing is for. Gosh, this is one sweet fighting knife. I mean, you put it in your hand and you think automatically, all you think is blade combat. That's the only thing that goes through your mind when something like this is in your hand. You're thinking, if it came down to it, it was one-on-one, mano a mano, somebody's got to survive. It's gonna be me. So let's get over here. Let's get over here. The 1-inch forest has gotten to be more like a 5-inch forest. So what we need to do is just cut through some of the brush and the bush and get through to something nice and big. And I think we are there. All right, so I'm gonna open you guys up. We're gonna take apart one of these 1-inch forest jobs over here. We're gonna have some fun doing it. That's damn Skippy. Just gotta get you balanced. Just gotta get you balanced. Uh-oh. I did a damn good job of getting you balanced for about 2 seconds. All right, let me work on this. Unstable ground with an unstable knife reviewer. That goes pretty good. All right, so I'm pretty sure we're all in here. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh man, it just gets shorter and shorter. So let's go a little bit bigger here. Am I in the shot? I hope so. Man. Rah. All right, so here we go, Rambo. There we go, Rambo. Let's see. I know Rambo used his knife to make spikes. He made spikes, and then he sent those spikes through the heads of his enemy. And my Rambo knife is making spikes. And while my enemy is not here for their heads to be adorned with my spikes, if they were, my spikes would do the job. Because it's my Rambo knife. Oh, gosh. All right, so here's a big one. Let's see how many whacks how many licks does it take to get to the center of this tree? A 1, a 2, a 3. All right, let's find out. Oh, I skinned it. It came across the side. Ah! That was better. That was better. That was one big, thick, nasty cut. And it was a single shot that went through that piece there. Just a beast of a knife. I'm getting hung up in crap. So, look at this. Look at the size of that cut right there. That is a thing of beauty. That right there is a thing of beauty. That's what your knife is supposed to do. Holy moly. All right, let's get out of here. I got the dogs following me. Come on, let's go, boy. Hey. All right, so now what we need to do is, we know what it's like going through those little bitty trees. Come on. Now we got to go find out what it's like chopping through something a bit harder. And when I say harder, I mean very, very hard wood. So let's go over there. All right, so let's take it to it. This right here is a beast of a tree. So let's use a beast of a knife to do some beast of chops. And you can hear the solidity and the banging. You can see the wood chips flying. I feel like Edward Scissorhands when he's chopping that ice. How do you know he's still alive? Because every year it still snows. Oh, yeah. Wow. So, is this the knife I can bring with me? Whew. In a survival situation? Yeah! So, they drew first blood, not me. This knife is freaking awesome. This knife is freaking, well, it's big. It's badass. It's tough. Every single thing you want a survival knife to be wrapped up in a Tribute Rambo blade. Guys, I know you all want a camp knife. I know you all want a hunting knife. I know you all want a survival knife. But if you're fans of Rambo, why not get them all in one? Why? Why not just reach out to the Khukuri House, say, Donnie B all day showed me the greatest Rambo knife ever made. This is the greatest Rambo knife ever made, guys, right here. This is the one. This is the best Rambo knife ever made. And it was made by the same guys that have been making the greatest kukuris in the world forever. So this sawback, I just wanted to see if we could actually saw anything with it, because I designed it not to be a saw. I designed it for just skin wound channeling. And what I can do with it would take me forever to saw, but it definitely notches. Definitely notches. Woo! Man. Ho ho ho! So, I mean, honestly, guys, if you're any kind of Rambo fan and any kind of Bowie collector, any kind of Bowie knife owner, this is the very knife you need. Oh, I hit my first throw with it, and I hit it right here, but the handle hit the ground. Oh, first throw would have been a great one for a first stick. Oh, I did it again. I can see exactly where the blade is hitting. I'm hitting it up and down, though. Is it tough? Well, I'm throwing it into a freaking log. Is it tough? Yeah, I'd say so. Can you, oh my God, it was in there. Can you throw it like Rambo? Yes! Guys, this is, I mean, I don't really know what the bomb diggity is, but if I had to equate bomb diggity to a knife, this is the bomb diggity. So, Rambo fans, knife collectors, Rambo paraphernalia collectors, if you want the ultimate and perfect John J Rambo Tribute blade, you have to get the dbad John J Tribute Bowie, made by the Khukuri House in Nepal. This is my design, this is my mind at work, and this is some of the greatest craftsmen in the world, some of the greatest bladesmen, some of the greatest blade forgers in the world, making this amazing, immaculate, awesome, strong, big, wonderful, completely Rambo knife. Oh my God, is this great. So, like all my designs from KHHI, the Khukuri House in Nepal, you can go right to their website, they have a little order page, and in the comment section, you just write down dbad, whatever, dbad Preacher, dbad OEF Defender, dbad John J Tribute, dbad Campmaster, which is coming soon, the Campmaster. This guy right here, man, woo, I can't wait to do a greatest fighting knives video and put this up against some of the others, like the K-Bar Big Brother and the Atrox from Condor, some great fighting knives, because I've never held something like this before. I mean, it is so nice. So 5160 steel, guys. 5160 steel. You know what that means? I'm not worried about this blade. Ever. I'm not worried about this blade. This thing, it's built to be the best. Built to be the best. I am Donnie B all day. And until next knife.